Yeah, shooting code talker. Yeah, shooting code. Uh, so, I mean, when it comes to the extra link variant of the deck, you're looking mainly between the extenders that you get to run over it. So, of course, shooting code when you summon it, it's water, so you get to search between water cybers. So you're going to be mainly looking at between Scripton. That's one of your main. That's shooting code areas. When you're searching through him, you're going to be searching water extenders. So the two main extenders that you run for him is going to be Scripton and Sea Archiver. Scripton, it's basically like a mini degrade buster in terms of his summoning conditions. You just banish one Cyrus to summon him. And if he's sent to the graveyard as link material, you get to recycle a banish, which is pretty neat. Scripton's cool. He's a level 5, another target you get to search off of 4 mud, so he's pretty cool. He doesn't care if you have a Cybers or not on board, so Nibiru, he kind of helps like playing through a Nibiru to still set up something. Sea Archiver is really cool. Sea Archiver being potentially able to get 2 summons and also have it being another target you can send off a code generator is really nice. They're both really good. It's just that Heat Soul, now the main difference is between Heat Soul, like is just like a infinitely better link monster in itself than Shooting Code. Shooting Code has a battle phase effect, so it might as well just be textless. But Heat Soul, of course, quick effect, draw 1, being able to just draw into like a bell or a droplet or conflict if you didn't search it on, or an extender or anything like that while you're doing your combos, really nice. And the fire extenders, so you have options of the 2 math mechs. Those are the main 2 I ran this weekend. You can also run D-Grade Buster, or you can also run like salad cards. Like, I quickly wrote off the salad cards. I was originally thinking of a card like Mirror, which says if it's added to the hand, you can special summon it. But I mainly settled on addition and subtraction. I quickly wrote off the song migrates because they kind of just required a little bit too much on board presence. D-Grade Buster was another one that I was really thinking about. This one I was going back and forth. So yeah, D-Grade Buster, he's a really strong card. Being able to just be a Farfa for anything that has higher attack than it is pretty nice, especially when going second. Um, when you're going second against like DPE decks where you just summon D-Grade Buster, and D-Grade Buster being able to just deal with the DPE on summon is pretty strong. But the main reason I decided to not run him is because of his summoning requirement. Being like having to banish 2 from grave is kind of hefty. Like for example, let's say I'm starting combo. So the main really just want to get to a link 3 with combo. That's really your main goal with this. Let's say your combo hand. The only way you have combo is you have Ibly, Microcoder, and this card in hand. So you'd go summon Ibly, and you'd use Ibly and Microcoder to make Code Talker. And then, of course, you summon the Ibly to the side of the board, and you use Microcoder to search conflicts. But now, D-Grade Buster is your only extender, but you don't have 2 Cyberses in your graveyard to summon him. So it correct. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, the banish thing off of Dotscaper is like kind of neat, but that's only good for past turn 1 because Dotscaper has a hard once per turn on both effects. So like he's like a dragon ruler. So like I can either summon him if he's sent to the grave per turn, or if he's banished. I can't do both in the same turn. So him being able to summon off of being banished to me is not necessarily irrelevant, but it's just more of that's more like a follow up thing than anything else. That's more relevant if you're playing like the Heat Soul control variant of the deck. That argument I can see having a lot more weight because you're planning on going past 1. But the goal of this deck is to go turn 1, your opponent can't play on their turn, and then turn 3 you kill them. That's your whole goal. So the whole thing of summoning Dotscaper back off of banishing is, to me, it's a bit more of a moot point. So I just I always just wanted to have extenders that if they were in my hand, I could throw them onto the board whenever I felt like it. And Degrade Buster just wasn't necessarily that all the time. Yeah. Okay. We can do that. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So unfortunately, with the extra link variant of the deck, there's never going to be a 1 card combo. But the best 2 card combo that I can always think of is Debug and Kodak. So if we just have debug plus codec, or honestly just debug plus any extender, either one of those work. So if we just want, sure, yeah, that works. So we can activate codec here, and we're just going to go normal summon debug and activate debug effect. We're going to search microcode. If a Cybers wants to control, we use link material for a code talker, you can link with him in the hand. So we're gonna link off debug and microcoder to go into code talker. And what I like to do is I always like to chain block codec. Depending on your hand, you could leave codec as chain link 2 if you have like other extenders, or if this is like game 1 and you're just not afraid of ogre. But I always like to chain link 1 codec, because if codec gets interrupted not necessarily if it gets ashed at all, but if it gets like ogred, then you're kind of screwed. But chain link 1 codec, chain link 2 microcoder. Microcoder is going to search you out Signet mining, and then codec is going to search you out Ibly. Yeah, Ibly. We're going to add Ibly to hand. We're going to activate Signet mining, and we're going to pitch the Ibly here, and we're going to search for. We can just add Cybers Converter. He's a level 2. He's in here somewhere. We could add addition to there. So we can just add him. I just like him. We just add him to hand. He's just a free special summon. We're going to leave Ibly in the graveyard for right now. We're going to special summon Cybers Converter, because he just says it. No, it doesn't matter where at all. Converter, just if all your monsters you control are Cybers, you can just special from the hand for free. He's pretty good. His normal summon effect you never use, but he's pretty cool. So you just link off Code Talker and Converter to make Transcode Talker here. And this is all you really need to be able to combo. If your hand can get you to summoning Transcode Talker with codec on board, you're set. So now we're going to do codec effect to search out Code Generator, which is mini transcode. Where's on the right there? Code Generator. Here it is. Mini transcode. So we're going to activate Transcode Talker's effect, targeting Code Talker in our graveyard to summon him back and to zone he points to. And then we're going to link off Code Talker and Code Generator. Or no, not Transcode, Code Generator in hand. Yeah. No, you're good. Link off those two, because we're going to make Xcode Talker to the zone that Transcode points to. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do some fancy chain blocking. We're going to do Chainlink 1 Code Generator, Chainlink 2 Signet Codec, and then Chainlink 3 is Xcode. So Xcode has an effect that says if he's link summoned, you can target a zone on your opponent's side, and it can't be used while he's face up on the field. This, to be honest with you, the effect is pretty irrelevant. Really it's just a chain block to prevent them from interacting with the Code Generator codec. So Code Generator is going to send Dotscaper from our deck to the graveyard, and then we're going to add Parallel Exceed. It doesn't matter which zone we target, we can just target whatever. We're going to send Dotscaper from our deck, the main man himself, add Parallel Exceed. And then Dotscaper is going to activate since he was sent to the graveyard. We're going to special summon him back out. And then we're going to link away Transcode and Dotscaper into Code Talker Inverted. Our light guy right here. Yep. No, to the zone that Xcode points to, right there in the middle. This is pretty important. All right, we're not going to activate Parallel Exceed here. We're going to activate Inverted Chainlink 1 and Codec Chainlink 2. This is very important. You want to make sure Inverted is Chainlink 1 and Codec is Chainlink 2. So we can legally activate Inverted here because we have one Cybers monster in our hand, but we're not going to be summoning the Parallel Exceed. We're going to activate Codec to target Inverted to search out for Mud Skipper. Adding the Skipper. And then Chainlink 1 is going to resolve, and we're going to special summon the 4 Mud Skipper from our hand. If you guys played Burning Abyss, like Chainlink 1 Libic, Chainlink 2 Dante, kind of that same deal. So this is really crucial. We're going to activate 4 Mud Skipper's effect. During the main phase, he lets you reveal a Link monster. And the only important part about his effect is he lets you reveal a Link monster, and he copies his attribute. So we're going to reveal Heat Soul. We're going to reveal Heat Soul. And he's going to become a fire. That's really important because of Heat Soul's requirements. So we're going to link away Skipper and Inverted. And to the same zone, we're going to summon out Deco Talker Heat Soul, because we need 2+ monsters with different attributes. And then we're going to do Codec Chainlink 1, 4 Mud Skipper Chainlink 2. And we're going to add Gachiri Adignister with 4 Mud and we're going to add addition with codec. Got to add our fire extender. There it is. Yep. And then right here, we can just pay 1,000 to activate Heat Soul's effect, just because we want that free draw. Doesn't matter what we draw here, really. That's perfect. Yeah, it's a random card, just a cool thing to have. And then we're going to activate Gachiri's effect in hand, targeting the Heat Soul on our board. It's going to negate Heat Soul's effect, and then we're going to special summon our Gachiri. And then we're going to link Gachiri and Heat Soul away to the same zone and summon out Firewall Dragon. And now we're going to do Chainlink 1 Gachiri, targeting Firewall to make him a Towers until the end of next turn. And then we're going to activate Chainlink 2 Parallel Exceed to summon out Exceed to the zone that Firewall points to. And then we're going to activate Parallel Exceed's effect on board to summon out another one and have their attack. And then now we are going to link away Parallel Exceed and Xcode Talker. And we're going to summon Splash Mage to the zone that Parallel Exceed with. So to that left zone? Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we are going to activate Splash Mage's effect to summon out the Ibli in our graveyard. And then we're going to link away the Ibli to make Talkback Lancer. And that's going to be in the zone where above where Ibli was. So on the right zone. And then we're going to link away Splash Mage, we're going to summon Ibli, of course. Sorry, got to do that. Summon that to our zone opponent controls. I always typically put it in the middle. We never end on like decode or anything like that. So we can just throw it over in the middle. It doesn't really matter too terribly much. And then we're going to link away Splash Mage and Parallel Exceed to make Trigate Wizard in that zone right there, and on the left right here. There, yep. And then we're gonna, right. So now we're gonna special summon Addition. We can special summon Addition off of Firewall's effect or his zone. It doesn't really matter. But we're gonna summon to the zone that Talkback points to. Yeah, right under our zone Talkback points to. And now we're gonna link away Addition to make Link Devotee. Right there under that zone, yes. So Link Devotee has a mandatory effect. If it's special summon, for the rest of the turn, we can't link summon Link Figure Hires. It's a good thing we're not going to do that. Next, we're going to activate Talkback Lancer's effect to tribute the Link Devotee and to summon back the Xcode from our graveyard. Xcode Talker right there. He's going to summon back to that same zone. This is perfectly fine as it's just a special graveyard. Now we're going to activate Devotee's effect. Since it was tributed, we get 2 level 1 Cybers tokens. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to link away the leftmost Cybers token first. And then we're going to summon out a Balinx. Not to that zone. It's going to be actually to that left zone. I do it in this order for a specific reason. Now we're going to link away we're not going to activate Balinx's effect just yet. And we're going to link away the Balinx to a Secure Gardener right there. Mm-hmm. And then now we're going to link away the token for our last Balinx up at the top. And we're going to activate Balinx's effect to search for the field spell. The main reason I do this is because if they stop the Balinx from getting us the field spell, it's actually kind of important because the field spell allows us to prevent Ibli from being just crashed into one of our linked monsters. So now we're going to activate the Sanctuary. And this is our end board. This is what we pass on. We pass on and this is all off of just codec plus debug. If we had an extra extender, we could have summoned that off of Firewall, and if we had Lingeribo in our extra deck, we could have used that too. It's just a lot of different stuff we could have added if we didn't have Update Chamber in there. But this is what we end on. Mm-hmm. We end on Trigate with an Omni Negate. We end on a Firewall with 2 bounces. That's a Towers. So they can't really do anything to it. And if they were to swing with their Ibli into our Balinx, which is most likely what they're going to do, we're just going to activate Sanctuary to bring our Balinx down to 0, gain 500. So we'll be at what 65, I think, and they just won't die because 2 monsters 0 attack don't kill each other. But this is the end board. Mm-hmm. Yes. So Dark Ruler no more or Droplet won't be able to deal with the firewall at all. So like for example, like if they drop for honestly, one of the reasons I really did pick this deck was because Dark Ruler no more doesn't do too much to really hurt the board. Like sure, if you Dark Ruler no more, you stop the Trigate. Sure, that's fine. You do that. All right. You bait out an Omni Negate. If I searched out, if I already had Codec in hand and code in microcoder, I could have searched out Cyber's Conflict as well, or Cynet Conflict from the deck, which is an Omni Negate for the deck, and had that set. So I could have either negated the Dark Ruler, or I could just keep it set just in case. But Dark Ruler doesn't do too much to really out the board. You're still under Ibly. You still have to do with the firewall. Droplet, yeah, we can still Sanctuary and everything because Drooler just cares about the monsters. Droplet is where it gets a little bit more problematic because Droplet is where if they just send off to Ibly, they're just going to hit the Trigate. It does out two parts of the board, but you still have to deal with the firewall. It doesn't completely break the board. You're still dealing with interruption, so you have to. So your hand still has to be formidable to break through this. And of course, and some people like would also see this, and some of you are probably thinking, "Oh, well, Sphere Mode breaks the board pretty easily." I mean, yeah, it does, but also at the same time, you're using your normal summon on that Sphere Mode, so you have to have a Link 1 in your extra deck in order to still break yourself out of Italy. Yeah, so even if you do Sphere Mode this, you still have to have a suitable extra deck to break out of that, which Despia and Sword Soul specifically don't, which was one of the main reasons why I still went with this. Yeah, they literally don't. With Sword Soul, and there was one of the times where I actually did this to one of the Sword Soul guys. One turn, I didn't even extra link. He was able to stop me from going fully extra link, so I just gave him the Ibly, and I just ended on like Heat Soul, and he literally just said pass because they don't have a way to out Ibly on their own. They don't have a Link 1. They just don't have a way to out Ibly. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A branded Despia deck. So if I'm sitting in front of branded Despia and I'm so did I win game one or did I lose game one? So I won game one. So they're 99% of the time they're going to choose to go first, unless they're just mad lads and are making me go first game two. Um, Typically, what I'm going to side going second is I'm going to be siding Cosmics. Um, I'm going to be siding in Cosmics. Maybe not all three, but that's something I'm probably thinking of. Cosmics and Talents are going to be the main two I'm going to be adding in. And if I'm looking through it, I'm really confident. Maybe Imperms as well. Those will probably be like the six cards I think about siding in. Of course, Cosmic for the branded in red because I just want to take care of that immediately. Talents, so because I know they're going to be able to what is it, Mirror Jade me, so I'm just going to take that immediately, or take cards out of their hand, or force them to do Branded in red and activate Guardian Chimera, even though it's on my side of the board, yada yada yada, all that nonsense. And then of course Imperm for another interruption on to like stop Mirror Jade as well, or if they Mirror Jade out my board and then go into Guardian Chimera, just be able to count that. Um, So siding out, I'm really glad you're talking about siding because I really do think it is one of the biggest like skill gaps in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like proper side decking is something a lot of people don't know in this game, and it's really important for this. So when approaching a combo deck specifically, if you guys watch the deck profile, and if not, please do. It scores is a great guy, and it's happy you reached out to me. But you saw that I separated my deck into starters and extenders, etc. Now, when it comes to siding with a combo deck, 99 times out of 100, you don't want to touch your starters when you're siding. Because if you touch your starters, then you're going to be hitting your consistency. So that means we're not siding out small worlds. We're not siding out debugs. We're not siding out minings. We're not siding out microcoders. We're not siding those cards out because those cards are starters. Those are combo cards. It's what we need in order to play the game. If we don't see those cards, it's very unlikely that we're going to be playing. Exactly. So my win more stuff. We're probably going to be siding out. Probably going to be siding out conflict. We're going to be maybe like one. We're siding out the conflict. I like to side out one Ibli going second if I know I'm going second, just because that card's value kind of tends to go down. I also like to side out a Kodak, just because, like I said, that value starts to go down if we're going second. And then from there, I like to take out the dead cards. I like to take out Sanctuary because that card's not really going to be necessary. I also like to take out one Parallel Exceed because we're not going to be comboing. All we need to do going second is to make. All we need to do is make access code, so that's not too hard. And then the last card I'll probably take out is we'll probably take out a Droplet. Either that, or if I want to keep that in, we can take out Call By. I like Call By to stay in there just because of just like, for example, if I like out the Mirror Jade. So I like to keep this in here because it allows me to play through the board easier. For example, what like let's say I'm sitting there and playing against my opponent and they Guardian, so like I make Transcode and they've already used Mirror Jade and then they go Guardian the Transcode before I even get to resolve effect. I don't care about that Guardian Command because I could just go Reborn, bring back the Transcode. It's perfectly fine. So I like to keep some like really powerful extenders in the deck and really powerful like continuation cards that can just let me to play through the board as well. So Reborn lets me do that. The reason why I'm not doing I didn't take that approach with Parallel Exceed is I don't necessarily need to see it. The main reason we play the third anyway is just because of Small World. But Sigma is also fine. I really do like Sigma just as it's a free special summon. So we like to keep him in the deck. But honestly, what I'll probably do is I'll take out the Call By. That's probably what I'll do going second because that's mainly just for hand traps and stuff. And that's how we put in those 6 cards. Typically, that's what I do. Yeah. Yeah, you're just tailoring your defense options a lot better. Mm-hmm. No, for sure, yeah, and yeah, I mean, and it's the same philosophy when you're approaching like a mid-range deck or a control deck. You don't want to touch the cards that like it's for some reason like as you're saying like people like sort of see how to do it here, but they don't see it as the combo deck just because there's a lot more cards. It's really just the same philosophy. You want to keep in the cards that keep your deck being consistent and allow you to keep playing through interruption, and you want to take out the cards that are a little bit more tailor suited to either you going first or tailor suited to certain matchups. So, like for example, if I'm sitting in front of like I don't know, if I'm sitting in front of Sword Soul and I know that Bell isn't really going to be doing much against them, I'm probably going to be siding out my Bells going against Sword Soul. Because I mean, it's the same logic as with a control deck. You know, some defense cards in a control deck are going to work better against others, so we side out the dead control cards for others. Of course. Of course, of course. It's glad to be here. I'm glad I get to know you guys and be on the channel and talk about my deck.